to take the drone out, we're going to do something I've never tried before, something totally new. But first, I gotta head into town, do a quick meeting and grab some shopping.
So it's Friday, I'm in the city, just heading back from a meeting about app development. Before we go back, I'm going to grab some lunch and a memory card. Love these guys, they don't waste time with long names and extra signage, they keep it to the point. Let's go in and get a sandwich. This looks like a perfect place to stop for lunch. Alright, in a little bit we're gonna head back. Now, I don't know if you guys remember seaplanes in World War II. Well, we're gonna do an experiment. We're gonna try and recreate taking off from water like seaplanes did, but with drones. Alright, so back to my idea about drones. Now the other night I was watching the History Channel, one of my favorite channels. It's not all about Nazis and World War II, maybe only 20-30%. Anyway, they had a documentary on seaplanes. Now these planes, they're planes that would land on water or boats that would fly, whichever way you wanted to look at it. Now these things were great, you didn't need an airport, you could land at any fishing port. Also, you could fly out to sea, pick people up, and then fly off again. So question one, could we do this with drones? Of course we could.
It'd be pretty useful, I think. You could have drones that flew out to sea, saved people and brought them back again. You could probably have drones that tested toxic water, or you could have drones that flew out to oil slicks, soaked up some oil and flew back again. Alright, question number 2, can we modify one of the readily available commercial drones to be our sea drone? Well, let's find out. So first up, the Phantom. Now this guy is a great drone, one of my favorite drones. The problem with this is it's too tall. Now boats that were too tall, they tended to keel over, okay? This thing, when it lands in the water, it's going to be wobbling, it's too tall, it's going to be unstable. So the Parrot Bebop, this drone, makes a much better candidate. It's much wider and lower, and it's going to be way more stable in the water. So let's give our sea drone idea a shot with this little guy. So to make our sea drone, all we're going to do is take the Bebop, we're going to stick 4 polystyrene balls onto the wingtips to act as pontoons, and we're going to see if this little guy can land and take off on water. So the holes on the feet of this thing measure about 6 millimeters. So we could just jam these balls straight into the feet of the Bebop, but instead I measured out the hole and I got my friend to 3D print me a little piece of plastic that's going to fit right into the foot of the Bebop. So to make our sea drone, all we're going to do is take the Bebop, we're going to stick 4 polystyrene balls onto the wingtips to act as pontoons, and we're going to see if this little guy can land and take off on water. Alright, so I'm out here with the drone and the sky controller. We're going to put theory into practice and see if we really can land and take off on our makeshift pontoons. So the drone went down okay, but then it flipped over. I rushed over to rescue it. Tried to shake off some of the water. So I think it's safe to say that was an unmitigated disaster. I landed the drone maybe slightly too high. It came down, displaced some water, which popped it back up again. It flipped over and the drone went right in the water. Let me show you what happens to a Parrot Bebop when you land it in some water. So in the Parrot Bebop, you've got 4 motor control chips. One here, one here, one here, and one here. When you land in water, one of these chips consumes so much power it blows. You can see that's happened right here. When you open the app, it shows you one of the motors isn't working, but don't be tempted to buy a new motor. That won't fix the issue, the chip's already blown. Alright, so we're not bust yet. I've got one more Parrot Bebop. I'm going to fit it up
we're gonna go out to the park and I'm gonna bring the drone down real low and try and land this thing real smooth.
Jungle.
Alright guys, we're back out here. I've got another drone kitted out. We're ready for attempt 2 of landing and taking off on water. This is the penultimate attempt because, hey, I just can't lose any more of these little guys. So let's give it a shot, landing and taking off on water. Take 2. And again, the drone flipped over. Alright, so after losing a second drone, I think I'm gonna have to cut my losses right there. That time, I got in close to the water, but I got some ground effect, which basically means it becomes difficult to control. And it skidded towards the edge, touched the edge, then it went down for a second, what looked like okay, then again, flipped over. Alright, so I think one of the problems here is we have the center of buoyancy down here next to the pontoons, and we have the center of gravity up here next to the circuit board. Now that makes this craft a little bit unsteady when we land it in the water. Alright, so we've established the fact that drones and water just don't mix. Who would have thought it? To be fair, on a good day, I think I could have landed that on a more open bit of water. I'm going to take this drone, try and solder it back together. I don't hold out much hope. If you guys are going to try this at home, make sure you're willing to lose your drone. If you enjoyed watching me fail, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Catch you next time.